Anyways, let's talk about something, chat. Something about the most disturbing game that was being sold on Steam. Everybody should know the game. I knew about it before it got popular, so I already knew about it. Because it popped up in a new category, that's why.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so incoming Yap session about a crazy-ass game that was recently uploaded to Steam called No Mercy. And basically in this game, it was a role-playing game where you were playing as a protagonist who was basically stalking women, including mothers and daughters and people in your family in the game, with the ultimate goal and sole purpose, grape them. Yes, you heard that right. This was a role-playing grape game of which you were acting as a predator trying to take the innocence away from various different women who you were related to or not. Now, when I first came across the story, it was from a member in my Discord server by the name of Rebecca. She said, trigger warning. She said, there's a game on Steam called No Mercy. The player grape or gang grape women of his family. The more women the player grapes, the more points they get. Even 12-year-olds can access the game because it was literally on Steam for $14.99. However, at the time of this record,
I bet Dubstep had this game. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. You want to know something, chat? I'm gonna blow everyone's mind right here. I have certain female friends, right? I will not name who they are, right? Who are into the whole, you know, grape roleplay. So, yeah, there are girls who are freaky like that. Trust me, there are girls who are freaky like that. And the only reason why I'm backing this up. Why I'm backing this up specifically, you know that one dude or so, that Luigi guy that shot that one dude or so, right? Whoever was, what was it, the Healthcare USA or whatever the fuck? I forgot who he killed, to be honest, but he killed somebody, right? And there's a lot of women. Oh, the Healthcare CEO. Thank you. And there's a lot of women fetishizing over Luigi. So, you know. My coworker loves watching psycho murders documentaries while working. Do women really find it calming? I'm not too sure. There's just some people who like enjoy those things for some apparent reason. Yeah, but there's a way of consenting these things. Yeah. But like I'm saying, you know, there are people who fetishize these things, you know. Is it weird? Yeah, it's weird. Is it a fantasy? It's a fantasy. It's a dark fantasy at the end of the day. But yeah, there are girls who are into this, you know. You'd be very shocked and surprised what kind of girls are into this. Trust me, I know a couple, to be honest, in my personal opinion. I will not name them who they are, but yes.
Unfortunately, I can't show you the original Steam page as it was taken down. However, I may be able to do something. So unfortunately, that did not work. I actually tried to use the Wayback Machine to find the original Steam page, but that did not work, unfortunately. Sorry, but as reported by this user by the name of Tommy, they say in No Mercy, you are encouraged to grape your sister, your mother, and her friends. This game is available to buy on Steam, a platform that a lot of other students will be.
Girls are way more freakier than we think, guys. No, girls are a lot more freakier than you guys will think. Trust me. Barnes & Nobles has a hear me out category for female sections. Yeah, don't you remember that one section or so in Barnes & Nobles where there's literally like monsters or so fucking females or something, or like in a novel or so, like there's like sexual relationship or so with that. I mean, some people are into NTRs, so I believe you. Yeah, there are people that are into NTRs, so I'm like, you know, every girl has a hear me out.
Accessing. This normalization of abuse needs to stop. And as you can see here is an image of the game's logo along with a girl with a hand gripping the fuck out of her scalp. And here as you can see,
I'm gonna be honest with you, it really didn't faze me or anything like that. Because you want to know something? I'm like, it's like, you know, it's literally NTR. It's right there. Look, it's right there. There's NTR. It's right there, chat. Literally, there's fucking... It's literally NTR, for God's sake. It's literally NTR, the hentai game. That's fucking... It's just an NTR hentai game. God fucking A, dude. That's part of the genre with NTR. You know, you kind of like, you know, you grape, you know, because that's just how it is, you know. I've read way more gruesome shit than this game. Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't really faze me in my personal opinion, for God's sakes. I had to live out of my fantasies as an ugly bastard. I get. Well, actually, no. You don't actually become an ugly bastard. You're actually kind of like a handsome dude. It's like that one NTR hentai or so, where instead of it being a fat ugly dude, it's usually a hot tan guy or so with blonde hair, basically. Never understand why other girls want to enjoy grape medias and NTR medias like water. I never liked the stuff. Well, they're just girls who are like that, you know. For God's sakes, look at Bao, for God's sakes. She wants to get boned by a fucking werewolf. Please explain this to me. Explain the logic to this to me. Thank you very much, you know? So, you know, do I need to say more information? Do I need to say more? Like, girls are weird, man. Girls are freaky, bro. Girls are straight up freaky, honestly, you know?
The disclaimer from the developers saying this game graphically contains sex and violence, mature language, nudity, graphic depictions of oral, vaginal, and other sexual activities. This content includes...
I bet Bao will say, hear me out. Only information needed is ban Bao. I hate that I learned the word not from a freaky whale. Yep. I will not take these slanders of my wife. Oh, shut up. Your Bao wife likes fucking werewolf penises, okay? All right?
Incest, blackmail, unavoidable non-consensual. They say unavoidable non-consensual sex. You mean rape? Okay, buddy. As well as the use of drugs and alcohol and cigarettes. So basically, this is a grapist, predator, stalking, wet dream role-playing game for guys or girls out there who get off on this type of shit. They also say there is avoidable NTR, netto rare, whatever that means, content in the prologue, which serves as an introduction to the story.
Oh, he doesn't know about NTR? Ah, netorari. That's how I say it. I don't know how you pronounceably say it or so, but I say netorari. That's how I say it.
And is entirely skippable. All consensual sexual situations are depicted as occurring between consenting adults. This game includes adult themes and is intended for adults 18 years and older, but we all already know anybody below the age of 18 can purchase it because Steam doesn't really have a system where they verify IDs to make sure kids aren't buying certain games, obviously. All you need is a credit card, debit card, bank account, whatever, PayPal account even, and you're good to go. They also say the characters...
Yes, but this is literally not the only sexual game that's on Steam that literally like does NTR. There's like literally loads of others NTR games on fucking Steam. You know, just letting you guys know. And then also on top of that, because I saw the VOD or so from Asmongold, apparently the game sold a lot more because they posted it on their on a website or so, and the game sold even far more because it got popular and everything. So this is so tame compared to the Japanese porn game industry. Yeah, there are so much lewd games in Steam. Yeah, and why they are targeting this, I have, because they don't like the NTR-ness in this specific game itself. They don't like the NTR chat. They don't like NTRs, you know. But sorry, but like, did you guys know that a lot of females actually like redo of Healer? Like, there's a big majority of popular female watchers who actually enjoy redo of Healer. So that says a lot, chat. That says a lot. Like I said, you know, there's a lot of freaky girls out there, you know. Literally are a lot of porn games in Steam for every taste. Yeah, exactly, you know. They are kink shaming. How intolerant of them. No shot. The author of Redo Healer is a woman. Oh, really? I didn't know the author was a woman. I heard FYI. Yeah, but apparently there's a lot of females. There's a lot of females who actually enjoyed Redo of Healer. So yeah, I'm gonna burst your guys' bubble. Like I'm saying, you know. You guys are living in some weird fantasy, you know. But girls are freaky. Girls are really fucking freaky, you know. I ain't too surprised a lot of women like Redo. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, none of it. Just make age restriction and a viable one and let it go.
Story
Ain't
and
no
events
way.
are works of fiction and bear no ties to reality. Now here's my thoughts on this. This should have never been on Steam. This is a crazy type of game to have on a platform.
I disagree with you, Maury, because the only reason why, that means you should be banning all other NSFW games as well. There are other stuff that are very more interesting, you know. They just the only differences is that they're using like, you know, 3D models, you know, like 3D models for this one compared to the anime-esque aesthetic.
Which is accessible to everybody. I know people are going to use the argument, well, there are shooters out there in games where people are literally shooting each other and brains splattering against walls and you're killing people and murdering them and causing genocide.
That's not the argument that I'm bringing up. I'm bringing up there are also other NSFW games, you know. There are a lot of female porn writers and the stuff they write about gets nasty. Why did I never met those girls? I don't know. Because those are the unstable ones. Oh, I stand corrected. It's a man. It's another freaky. It's a freaky title. That's the title is a woman. KW. Oh, okay. I see. I'm pretty sure Nekopara creator is a woman.
Side digitally, which is a fair point. That is a devil's advocate point. But obviously, in most of those games, that's just a byproduct of the storyline itself. It's not like the sole focus.
Okay, so it's a byproduct as well for this game as well. At the same time, it's not real. You know. It is
like you're in a first-person shooter where that generally is the case, but obviously people don't take killing each other in video games super seriously. Like we're kind of used to it, you know, story-driven, taken.
This argument falls apart pretty quickly, in my personal opinion.
From the POV of the protagonist of who you're playing as, whose sole focus is to rape people. I mean,
it's the same thing with an FPS. You know, you're a fucking person or so killing people. You know, so yeah.
Off on that, like I'm pretty sure if there was a game out there where the sole focus of the protagonist of which you're playing as was to go out there and bomb people in the Middle East, and I don't know, you were like a rogue terrorist just killing innocent people, a lot of people would have a problem with that too.
Let's talk about the no Russian mission. When you're a Russian person and you kill so many innocents in the airport. Shouldn't we ban that game too as well? Destiny's pretty fucked up in my personal opinion, you know.
But again, we got to understand human emotions. Certain things are just off limits. We prescribe certain moral prescriptions to certain events that hold more weight than other types of things. And these are just one of these games that should be off limits. Now, if you're into this type of shit, again, you do you. As long as you're not committing any real crimes in the real world, just Steam should have never approved this type of game to be accessible on their platform to everybody.
No, I think I'm okay, but it does have the age. It does require you for your age verification. You know, that's about it. It does require you for your age verification to see this game on Steam. It actually does. You know, any hentai game, it asks you for age verification. So, granted, it's not really good at age verification, but you can just lie about your age, right? But that's just huge. But that's literally almost every single little kid. Almost every single little kid will lie about their age to see these kinds of games. You know. A lot of kids have done it when they were younger, you know? A lot of kids would just lie about their age and just go into the prawn websites, you know? That's just how it is. Ancient Greece theater was about acting horror stories so that you don't do them or know how to deal with them. I feel the same about more entertainment. We need offensive content to grow as people. I don't approve of hiding these things because, you know, people need to learn about it at the end of the day. Yeah, but if you think about it, it would even bring that stuff with you. So in the bedroom. Honestly, some of these kinks are probably bring you to your grave secrets. It's not that serious as long as you're not doing anything anything illegal. You know, you do you at the end of the day. You know, if you like these things, you know, if you like them, right? If you like it, that's fine. You know, as long as you're not doing it like in real life and doing it illegally. Hey man, fucking go wank off, I guess. You know, shit.
Body, including kids. That's dumb. This is the type of game that should be left on specific adult websites that cater to these types of kinks or fetishes for people who want to play these types of games. And you have verifiable IDs to check the player's ages. But alas, Steam fucked up. And at the time of this recording, the game has now been removed with over 70,000 signatures on change.org.
That's stupid. That's just literally a bunch of Karens right there, to be honest, chat. That's one of the problems. It's just literally a bunch of Karens because you want to know something? There's other parts, there's other literatures, there's other media or so that literally deal with this actual topic, and then some girls like it, okay? That's the reason why, you know? That's why I object. I personally object, you know? Like I said, if you like it, right? You do you, right? You do you. You do what you want to do, you know? As long as you ain't doing it in real life or doing any illegal shit, you know? Hey, man, shit. It's the same thing, you know, as me who enjoys, you know, lolicon content and shotacon content, you know? Like, I like those stuff, you know? I read them from time to time. You know, I don't read them all the time. It just really depends on the art style. If the art style is good, I'll read it. If not, then I won't read it. It's just how it is, you know? So, that's why.
Or they say at Steam, remove No Mercy plus incest game globally now, and it was removed. And
so if you guys don't know, one of the art styles that I like the most or so, right, from a manga hentai creator or so, is Asanagi. Asanagi is one of my favorite artists. As much as people hate NTR, most NTR dojins are amazing art. Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. They're good they're good art. Oh God, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. For those who know who Asanagi is, you know, I give you props or so.
As expected, a lot of spurred out autists on 4chan, per usual, have a problem with this. You know, some people are saying grape is absolutely useful. Boomers use the threat of jail, forced confinement, and threat of grape to keep people in line. And as a Canadian, understand if I use violence to defend myself and can't afford a good lawyer, I will be held in custody until trial and made to be a victim by the staff who will charge me with defending myself to increase my stay in because I acted up. He's basically trying to defend rape. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? Somebody else said, in a patriarchal society, grape should be the only just way to acquire children. Grape is based. Like, I'm telling you, I wish you people could see my face right now. These people should be eunuch, or better yet, balls chopped off. These people with these thoughts should be locked away or just excommunicated from civilization in its entirety forever, because there's no way you have people out here on 4chan saying, how did the feminist movement convince everyone that rape is worse than murder? Now, here's the thing. My point is, that is the devil's advocate's argument. I understand. Listen, objectively, murdering an innocent individual, stripping their life away from them and all the potential that they could live out for the rest of their life is the worst possible thing you can do on this planet. It's the #1 sin. Obviously, second and third and fourth is causing horrendous bodily harm to people unconsensually via grape or predatory behaviors like assaulting them and permanently disfiguring them for the rest of their lives, because they're gonna have to be alive to carry that physical or mental trauma. But again, my argument is the average person playing a Call of Duty game, shooting other players in the face and them respawning on the other side of the map is not a psychopath, terrorist, sadistic motherfucker who gets off on killing people in real life. The probability of that is very low.
Of course it's low, because you want to know something? They're mentally stable. The people who actually go out and do killings are mentally unstable. It's the same thing, you know. Have I read, you know, grape content like hentai mangas and stuff? Yeah, of course I did. I've read those. I honestly just read them from time to time, you know, because it comes with like some of my favorite tags, you know. But I'm like, I don't, you know, you don't see me going out on fucking, you know, out on the parole and chasing, you know. No, because I'm a normal sane person, you know. It's just, I'm like desensitized. I don't really care about it, you know. It doesn't scare me, you know. FPS games are textured and rigged, point and clicks. Yeah, it's just like, you know, I play FPS games, but you don't see me go out, you know, killing somebody, you know. I read, you know, NTR hentais, you know, but you don't see me doing NTR shit, you know. Another one is the framed girl. Yeah. I'm like, you don't see me doing any of this stuff. The difference is because like the argument, that's why this argument, like personally, like, look, I don't disagree, right? Like there's a lot of things I don't disagree of his point of view or anything like that. The only thing is I disagree of the argument that he's bringing up, you know? I can confirm this. I have used COD as an anger management tool when I'm literally pissed off. I play COD and blasted people and calm down. I never once thought I'd be doing it in reality. Yeah, of course, you know, it's people who are like mentally ill who actually do these things. We're not here blaming, we're here blaming video games again for the result of like everything, you know. It's like we're back in the 1990s or so, in 1980s, where we're blaming video games again, you know, for being like, wow, this video game depicts of this and that, you know. And it's just like any normal person would find it as entertainment, you know. But other people who are mentally ill will find it as like, oh man, this is gonna like, you know, cause this, you know, blah 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 blah, you know. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's selling a lot of copies anyway, so it's impossible to judge someone based on the type of entertainment they enjoy. Same with music. You can be the cutest individual and listen to death metal, which is pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, I listen to death metal. As I usually say, I respect, but I don't share. Yeah. It's pretty much parents blaming everything but themselves at raising their child. Yeah, because remember during the time or so, if you listen to like rock or metal music, right? You're like, you know, you're worshiping the devil, you know, and everything like that. Oh yeah, we talked about the Gura news already. Yeah, I'll be updating that video. I'll be uploading that video later this week or so. Pretty sad or so, to be honest. But yeah, it's like literally the music thing. Remember when like your parents would tell you, it's like, stop listening to that devil music, you know? You're gonna be worshiping the devil and blah 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 blah. It's like literally, it's like, you know, it doesn't change you. You know, you're just enjoying the music. That's why you consume media. You consume certain, like consume certain media. It's not like you're like you're an evil person at the end of the day. Like like I said, right? I consume lolly content. I consume shota content. I consume MILF, DILFs, sisters, brothers, stepsisters, step-ons, fucking whatever, and you don't see me like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go bone my brother, shit. No, that's just weird. It's just fucking weird.
Whereas I'm pretty sure people who go out of their way to willingly play these games and would spend their hard-earned cash to play such a game, unironically, is likely, in comparison to the former person playing Call of Duty, to have way more serious character defects. I'm just saying the probability of a Call of Duty person who grew up on Call of Duty being out here actively committing mass—
You're talking to someone who plays. I used to play hentai games. I used to play quite a few hentai games, and I'm still the same person, to be honest. So, all this video game talk kind of feels like mimic hate for TikTok. Like our forefathers also allegedly had research that video games are bad for us. What's to stop our hatred for the new media is actually grounded. That's why Sunako is based. That's probably the reason why I wouldn't be accepted at any company, at any company of a VTuber company.
shootings versus somebody who goes out of their way to play this game and actually enjoys it, going into the real world and stalking women and actually committing atrocious acts against them is way lower.
If you're trying to stalk women in IRL or so, you have a mental problem. That's why there's something wrong with you generally. Parents thought Pokemon was satanic to kids. I mean, really? Yeah, I remember that actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot that Pokemon was supposed to be like satanic or so to kids.
Person who plays Call of Duty, and much higher for the person who probably enjoys a game like this. I'm not saying all players who would have downloaded this and played the game and enjoyed it would actually commit those acts in real life.
Yeah, of course they wouldn't.
I'm just saying the probability is much higher. I hope
No, it's not. No, I disagree. It's basically someone who is mentally ill, because you can bring someone who is mentally ill, right, to play Call of Duty or any FPS kind of game, and they would go kill somebody, right? That's a mentally ill person, right? The same thing with hentai games, NTR, because this is basically an NTR game, They're not gonna go do it in real life, that's just not how it works,
Kind of explaining my rationale for why people have a problem with this, and also because it's accessible to children. And I mean, for fuck's sake, literally, here's one of the screenshots from the game. You have a girl, bro.
That looks so. I like the guy's face in the background. It looks so goofy, in my personal opinion. Fucking dude smiling in the background. What a goofy ass fucking photo.
Girl with makeup running down her face, crying, presumably with a creepy ass dude in the back, looking over her shoulder,
the fucking
bro,
dude
as if
in
he
the
just
back.
committed a dozen unconsensual atrocities against her body. Like, genuinely speaking, who would actually want to play a game like this, bro, and not seem sus? Again,
you know what? I'll probably buy the game. I'll try it. I'll probably play it off stream and then check it out. I'll tell you guys what I think about it.
and another screenshot from the, like, bro, I mean, good God. Here we have another screenshot from the game, right? We got another guy on a couch gripping the hell out of this young lady's head. Well,
you do know some girls are into that, right? I don't think Maury knows this, but there are some girls that are into that, where you grab the hair and everything like that, There are actually some girls that are into that.
he's a digital character, but still, the depiction of it. As a description for the game, the developers, they say that there are multiple endings. Players' choices shape the story's direction, offering different endings based on moral and emotional decisions. So it's kind of like one of those story-based games where your actions and your dialogue with the other characters in the game will shape the
Review
outcome.
tomorrow?
Kind of like a Silent Hill.
I don't like the art style either. I'm not really a huge fan of the 3D hentai games. I usually like the 2D hentai games a lot more. I'm not really a huge fan of 3D, but I'll try it out though.
type game, or a Life is Strange, Detroit Become Human, a Walking Dead type game.
It just kind of feels
story-driven
plasticky and
games
cheap,
that
you know?
are based on
That's
your
why.
choices that will determine the outcome of the type of ending you get. But in this case, it's about grape. They also say deep characters. Each character has their own personality, motivations, and story arc, especially key figures like the protagonist's stepmother. Obviously, interactive dialogues, player choices during conversations determine how characters react and how the plot unfolds. Replayability, the branching paths, and multiple outcomes encourage players to replay and discover new storylines. And by the way, because
cool.
I wanted to, before actually ending this video, I wanted to show you guys, you know, footage from the actual game. They're going to be screenshots here because I believe they couldn't actually show actual video from the game itself, but here we go. So taking a look, we have, you know, this guy standing in some type of,
Wait, there's actual gameplay on YouTube for this? What the fuck? Are you serious? I didn't even know that. I doubt it's the 18 plus stuff though. I found an 18 plus game with this art style, and it was okay playing it. Was full of hear me out characters, Lamau. Maybe this style works with monsters and the supernatural. Yeah, I could definitely see it working with the whole monster, like the whole werewolf, you know, for Bao, of course, you know.
An office building, maybe a school or some shit. And you know, here are the character models. This guy says, stop lying, your mom's rich, give me. So you get to choose the type of dialogue you want to move forward with. Here we have this character, random character. You can see the character model, the shading, and everything. A lot of people are saying this game looks dog shit. I mean, it kind of does, but again, you know, there's a lot of dog shit games out here, let's be honest. Here we have a scene with one of the main characters in this black dress. Again, I mean, looking at it now, the game does look like one of those standard porn, those banner ads on the side of the fucking website. Yeah, like, guys, we all know what I'm talking about here. Let's be honest, we're not innocent. And by the way, correction, apparently this is actually the game. It's like a photo-based game, right? So this is the actual gameplay, bro. There's no animation. It's just, I guess, 3D rendered images from Blender used as
the animation is usually in the they put more animation in the hentai scene than they do in the cutscene. Basically, that's how these 3D games work. That's literally how all of them work, to be honest.
Is for the game, right? For this whole, you know, grape fantasy stalker shit. And with that clarification made from this commenter, I'm gonna be honest, this game does look like dog shit if this is really how the game is. Literally somebody in the comment section saying it looks like a bad corn game. It really does, bro. Literally one of those advertised banner games on the side of P-Hub. Like, we all know what I'm talking about, man. Somebody in the comments said, controversy aside, this game looks like complete dog shit. It really does. So with that said, guys, I just want to say, listen, man, I wouldn't want my kids accessing this type of game, bro. Clearly this type of
true. You wouldn't want your kids. I definitely do agree. You wouldn't want your kids to access this game like this, to be honest.
Shit would spur up some type of character defects.
I
in my
need the
child
plot
that I just
line.
don't want festering in his mind or her mind. I understand a lot of people have, by the way, grape fantasies. That is a common thing amongst a lot of people. It's like the number 1 or number 2 searched result under many X-rated content websites.
Yeah.
So it is a fairly common thing amongst human beings on both sides. Like, that's like, I suppose, one of the number 1 kinks for women. Like, guys and girls have different kinks that they get off on, and it's not symmetrical, you know. Like, men get off on other things and women get off on other things in general. So obviously this specific platform or media may cater to specific demographics of people. It's not the majority, but you know, in general, such is the case. All in all though, regardless of my opinion or what you may think, this should not be accessible on Steam. That's just ridiculous in my opinion. It's kind of retarded. But do let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about?
No, there is technically an adult rating or so. Like, they ask you for your age verification on Steam, but the problem is it's kind of shitty. It's not really that great though, you know.
This game and the controversy and now it being taken down because obviously it's a great fantasy type game, and hey, people are touchy about that stuff. Even if other people out there are okay with it, you know, feel free to air off all your opinions and thoughts down below. And yeah, until next time, everybody, stay safe.
It's mostly females. That's why a lot of people who are Karens don't like these things. It's just Karens. It's just literally a bunch of Karens who don't like this, you know. But like, there's a good majority of the demographic of women who actually enjoy NTR, you know. So you'd be very surprised, you know. Like I said, you know, I read NTR, you know. I have no problem with NTR. Shit, they know how to fuck, you know. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. That's why. But it is what it is, right, at the end of the day. But yeah, do I approve of younger audiences accessing this game? Hell no, I don't approve these younger kids accessing this game. But yeah, it's definitely an 18 plus game, you know. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. I guess those spinster Karens don't speak for all of us, no matter how loud they shout. Who gets NTR though? What, in this game? Oh, it's the family. The dude that's playing, the dude that you're playing or so. NTR is the family or so. That's basically is what happens. Apparently, that's like the short description or so about the game itself. I'm so surprised that the major demographics are for NTR as women. Really, you're surprised? I'm not surprised, to be honest. In my opinion, parent your kids better as much as cop out stream did its bare minimum. Karens are killing the entertainment, big sad. Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, right? It like there's already people who are into the more freakier things. For God's sakes, you have fucking Bao who's into fucking wolfmen. For God's sakes, you know? It's like, hello? Like, are we just gonna forget that, like, you know, that Bao wants to get fucked by a dog? so like, that's fucking weird. But like, it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, right? It's her kink. It's just whatever, you know? It's like, I don't really care. You know, you like what you like at the end of the day, you know? I find it very uncanny that we don't let our teens play H games, but consider it socially acceptable for teens to date and fudge around. A quick read of the synopsis before placing the game on ignore. It plays like a hentai guy's parents got ruined by stepfamilies, so he goes around ruining them with grape. Oh, is that what it basically the premise of the game is? Oh, okay. Why women do be fudging with dogs, Lamau? Oh, true. There are some people who actually do that though. I know there's men that like cucked, but still, yeah, there are men who like being cucked or so. Like that one dude or so who let his wife getting fucked by a black guy or so. I forgot what his name or so, but yeah. Was it Destiny? No. It was some other person or so. He has a podcast or so. I don't remember his name. He does porn with his wife or something like that, or OnlyFans. Yeah, there you go, Adam 22. Yeah, that's the one. America, you can expose kids to violence, gore, profanity, and anything else under the sun except when you even hint and playing sexual or pitchfork. Yeah, it's like pitch, you know. Like honestly, like at the end of the day, right? Are we just gonna ignore everything that's like, you know, real life or anything else? Like that's the only thing is like I don't really care about this game, to be honest. It's like, you know, you want to know what other controversy caused a chaos or so and mayhap or so? Let me see if you guys know this game. This was another one that caused like so much of an uproar back then. But the gameplay was kind of like, it was all right, you know? It was nothing crazy. You guys remember this? You guys remember this game, chat? Who remembers this game? This shit caused so much controversy. So much controversy back then. But the gameplay was kind of like, meh. You know, it wasn't really that crazy, you know? Same with Schedule 1. It is super offensive. People love it. Yeah, that's the problem, you know? What's the name again? You know the name. But yeah, like I said, that's why I just personally don't care. I really don't care. Like, straight up, I really don't care. So, but yeah. Pretty big game, but the spurging out by everyone was hilarious. True. Can't see you on 360p. But yeah, overall, this is pretty much the game itself. So that's why personally, why I'm like, you know, I'm really unfazed by this. You know, I'm like super unfazed by this game. It's just kind of like whatever, you know. I don't really care. So, should the kids have access to it? No, they shouldn't. They should not have access to hentai games. But the problem is like, I think if like kids search up hentai games in their Steam search or so, I think it pops up on their recommend page. I think, if I remember correctly, but I'm not too sure though. I don't know how Steam works precisely though, but you know. But that's pretty much about it though. But yeah, anyways, like I said, you know, enjoy what you like at the end of the day, right? Like what you like, you know. It is what it is, you know. There's people who like foot fetishes, armpits, you know, and all this other stuff, you know. Oh, the coffin of Lele and Andy. Yeah, there's also, I forgot about this game. Yeah, there's also this game too as well on top of that. Which was very popular and got a lot of controversy for a fucking certain scene or so, you know. But that's why I personally didn't care. I didn't care too much about that about this game as much, you know. But It's at the end of the day, it's Steam's platform. At the end of the day, they do what they want to do, you know. So above everything else, are the sounds good? I have no idea, to be honest. Go play it on stream. I'm not playing it on stream. But yeah, I'll probably check it out off stream. I could probably give you guys like a review or so about it. I'd be like, it's all right. You know, I don't think it's been anything crazy or anything like that. You know, it's kind of like meh. You know, meh. I haven't played a hentai game in a while though. It's been like a hot minute since I played a hentai game. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah, the sounds you said I'd do. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And it is what it is. That's pretty much all I have to say. It is what it is. But yeah, that's the end of the video.